Good morning, Illini! As always, I'm your host, Matt Schrock, and I'm glad you've joined us for another installment of Healthy Illini. Somehow, January is almost done, and we're hitting our stride, or starting to hit our stride for this semester. So today we're talking about exercise, equipment, and getting started on our fitness journey. So let's get right to it. Today I'm joined by Felicia Fordyce. She is the Fitness Health Educator here at McKinley, has been here for about 2.5 years. Felicia, thanks for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
And also joined by Cheryl Ma. She's a grad assistant with Felicia here at McKinley. She has a bachelor's in athletic and exercise therapy and is working towards her master's in health administration. Cheryl, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us, Matt.
Okay, guys, it's early January, and January means New Year's, and everyone knows that implies New Year's resolutions. Whether you make them or not, there's always, everybody talks about, did you make a resolution? Did you not? And for a lot of people, myself included, New Year's resolutions means trying to get more fit, trying to get more active. And for a lot of us, that might mean just transitioning back into a routine, getting back into something that we kind of left off, or increasing something we're already doing. But for a number of people, it could be a completely new venture. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And what you want to talk about today is for especially students that are looking to start a fitness journey where they maybe never have before. And that can be really daunting. So you both have a lot of experience, not only in the fitness field, but just in being active with people and trying to help them get involved in some things and better their health. So let's start off with just the idea of getting into exercise. What are some of the roadblocks people face when they try and start a new fitness journey?
Definitely. So there's a lot of different barriers that students face, especially here at the U of I. So sometimes it can be they are unsure where to start. Sometimes they can walk into the ARC or Cersei and they're just intimidated by all of the equipment that they see. Maybe they're not familiar with it, something like that. Really not knowing or not having a plan to go off of can be something that they're unfamiliar with too. Bad experience sometimes is what people have. A lot of students lack time sometimes just with a workload, if they're working outside of classes, but also schoolwork and everything too. So there's lots of different reasons, definitely.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is what you said earlier is that it's daunting. So much of fitness can be daunting, whether it's not knowing how to use the equipment, whether it's, just being comfortable doing certain movements. Anything like that is probably, I would say, like the biggest thing or biggest reason of why people are hesitant to get into fitness.
And I talk about it on a lot of different podcasts because it's just the culture of society that we live in, but we live in an Instagram culture. Mm-hmm. And, fitness pages are a huge thing and have become huge. I mean, Felicia, you yourself have one that documents your fitness journey. Mm-hmm. And for somebody who doesn't have experience with equipment, looking at those can be really kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what that is, or how do I start, or where do I start with the 25-pound plates, or do I start with a 10-pound plate? Do I start with a bar? Is that doing me any good? And how do I do it? How many times do I do it? And what's the difference between all the different the different ways to start and things like that? And it can be embarrassing, and that's really one of the hard things. And Cheryl, I think you can speak to pretty well about, especially on this campus, what it's like to come here and not be familiar with this stuff, because you did come in as a grad student, and this isn't where you started. Was that, even for you and somebody who's in a fitness program and in health administration program, was that a little like unsteadying to walk into some facilities that you weren't familiar with?
Definitely. I've only been to the ARC a few times, but the first time I went to the ARC, I've never been able to go to a school facility that has, 2 pools, that has, 2-3 floors, that is just dedicated to, fitness or activities, basketball courts, badminton courts. That in itself was eye-opening. But then, like in our case, with, the fitness world, with so many people having Instagram pages and, there are being, Instagram influencers, when it comes to fitness, you see a 30, 60-second video and you automatically think, oh, that's what I'm supposed to look like. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's how it's, the movement is supposed to be. We record videos every Wednesday. Felicia is usually there with me while we record them, and a lot of times what people don't see is that it usually takes us 4 or 5 takes to do one exercise. And even though I do have a fitness background, Felicia is still usually giving me cues every 2 or 3 exercises. Watch the arc in your back. Go a little deeper, and things like that.
That's the thing with those types of videos is that you want to make sure you get the right form, so you don't use the ones where you don't. And we all have things where we don't. Exactly. My first form when I start push-ups versus my last form on my last one are 2 totally different things in the same rep because by the end I'm tired. But we don't show those things necessarily. Sometimes we do, but that's everybody has their own uniqueness to how they're getting to how they progress, and that's something really important. So let's we talked about some of the roadblocks, and I think there's just a lot of people that can identify with those, that resonates with that. These are the things that I'm a little bit nervous about, but I want to get started, but I just don't know where. I don't know how. And so I know that to help counter some of that, you have a program, and I believe it's called Exercise 101. Is that correct? So tell us a little bit about Exercise 101, what the focus is, how it functions, that sort of thing.
Definitely. So we actually have a mini gym in McKinley's basement, and we just kind of revamped it over last semester, just got in some new equipment. So I'm really just hoping to get some students in there to give them the basics of how to exercise, what the equipment is, how you operate the equipment. Like we have a treadmill, an elliptical, a rower, and a stationary bike down there. But some people walk up to it and they're like, I don't know how to turn this on. So we're going to start from the basics in this class, and we're going to build progressively from there. So the first couple classes are going to be how you operate the equipment. Next couple ones are going to be how to do certain exercises, and then eventually get into these full workouts that we can do and everything too. Really just give you the foundation to be able to go into someplace like the ARC or Cersei, somewhere on campus that has that little bit more equipment, and that way you have more knowledge of what to do with that equipment whenever you get there.
And that's important because no matter what you're doing, there's always a learning curve. In everything in life. There's always a learning curve, and everybody starts somewhere. And this is my understanding. This program is just to kind of give a little bit of a boost in that starting place, because and depending on what you want to do, because some people want to get really big, muscles, bulk up. Some people want to get lean. Right. Some people want to lose weight. Some people want to just be more active. Some people maintain levels of activity. And there's all the scope of it that can fall into that category. And this is an opportunity for students to be involved in that. Now, if a student wants to get involved in Exercise 101, what do they do? Where do they start? So
if they want to get involved with it, they can just contact me. You can go to the Health Education website and find my contact information there. And then classes do start on March 2nd, and they're going to be held every Wednesday at 11 o'clock until the end of March is the plan. So that's how they can get a hold of me to get registered for it.
And this is a group setting?
Yep.
Okay.
It'll be a group setting.
Going back to something, Cheryl, you mentioned, you were talking about the exercise videos. Tell me a little bit about what that entails, and is this something that can dovetail into Fitness 101? Is that something that can go hand in hand, or is that kind of a separate idea? Or?
Definitely. So our workout videos, they happen every Wednesday. They're workout Wednesdays. We've kept them short. They're usually 30 to 60-second reels that we post on our Instagram page as well as TikTok. And usually each week or each month focuses on either a different area of the body or a different type of equipment. So in the past, we've done full body workouts where you don't have to use any weights. We've recently done dumbbells and kettlebells, focusing on upper body and lower body. And then this semester, or specifically more this month, we're focusing on specific areas of the body. So right now we're doing upper body. And then our last week's video specifically was biceps and triceps. So just showed a few specific exercises with dumbbells, as well as our cable machine on how to do a few exercises focusing on those areas.
And one of the things I have to remind myself of, and this is something that I think is important for everybody, is that no matter what you're doing, it's better than doing nothing. That every little bit of activity is something, because we compare, and I compare myself to other people, but I'm really bad about comparing myself to where I think I should be. That's my worst. I'm like, okay, I ran a mile today, but I started running again 2 weeks ago. I should be at 3 miles now, instead of just saying I'm doing something and moving forward. And I think that's a big part of what Exercise 101 can help with, is that whether you're doing 2 push-ups or 100 push-ups or using weight or using body weight, you're doing something. And that first step leads to something else and leads to something else and gets you an opportunity to move forward on that.
Everyone has a day one too, and it's really hard. You can't compare your day one to someone else's days or day 200. That's really what you have to remember too. And then everyone progresses so much differently as well.
And it's okay to have more than one day one.
Exactly.
That's me. I have a day one and I'm doing good for a while, and then life gets in the way, and then it's I'm back to day one.
Yep.
And move on that. Okay, so Exercise 101, we talked about that. We talked about the Wednesday workouts a little bit, and all that contact information that we've mentioned, whether it be the Health Ed website or the Instagram pages, that will be in our episode description. So if you're looking for that information, you can contact us at McKinley, you can contact us at Healthy Illini, but it's also in the episode description, so you'll be able to find it there. What other resources, because I do want to touch on kind of what you have available through the fitness educator office here at McKinley. What other resources do you have available? And if students are looking for some sort of fitness guide or fitness help, what can they find through you?
Definitely. So we have the Exercise 101 class that is starting up next month. We also have a Couch to 5K program that we're going to do. So it's going to be a running program with myself, and then the athletic trainer with McKinley is going to be doing it as well. That'll be an 8-week program, and it'll kind of be leading up to the Illinois 5K or Illinois Marathon 5K is the plan, and then we'll run that as a group, ideally, if you did want to join in on that as well.
I'm going to jump in real quick. Just a heads up, we will be having a podcast on that at the end of the month, I believe, or sometime coming. So be paying attention. I don't know if you have it scheduled specifically, but the athletic trainer, Michelle, is going to join us, and we'll be talking about that Couch to 5K. So if you're interested in that, be on the lookout for that. Sorry.
No, perfect. Awesome. So we have that. We have one thing that we just started last semester was a fitness field day. So that's just a one-day thing. But one of the other barriers that people have is just that they find exercise boring. They find going to the gym boring. So it's really important just to find what you enjoy doing, whether it's recreational stuff, whether it's group exercise, whether it's cardio, weightlifting, lots of different things. So the fitness field day is going to be happening March? I think we said March.
I think we said after spring break,
Yeah.
end of March.
Be on the lookout for that as well. But that one's really fun too. Like we have these inflatable bumper balls that you can get in, and you kind of play like soccer against one another, try to get into a net. We have a slack line. We have a bag set out there. We have a group workout class that we always do at the beginning of it as well. Like this semester too, we're going to have like a tug of war. So just all these fun recreational things that kind of take you back to like physical education and like high school. But this time it's more fun because you're older and you're not required to do it by any means. So yeah, we have that, and then YouTube videos too. So we actually just got posted our first full workout video that you can follow, and then the second one should be coming in the near future. And the first one is body weight only. So I think it's a 40-ish minute video. You can follow along with it completely and do it from home. And then the next one that we have coming out is with dumbbells. So if you have access to dumbbells at your house, or if you're at the gym, you can always pick those up, go to a room or somewhere, a little corner. You can follow that as well. We also have the Workout Wednesday videos that we said, and then Cheryl posts like Mondays and Fridays kind of tips on social media as well. And then I also see students individually for appointments or consultations for lots of different reasons. Whether they're starting the program or exercise program, if we want to work on proper form, technique, if they want to help manage like diabetes or anything like that with exercise, I can always talk to them about that as well. So lots of different resources for you.
And things that students may not be aware are here. So there's a lot of things to look into. Actually, I'm going to put Cheryl on the spot for just a moment. As a student, what were there things you were surprised at when you got involved in the fitness department here, whether it's through McKinley or just on campus? Are the things that you wish you would have known coming in when you started that now you're looking back going, man, I wish I would have known this because it would have been helpful for me, it would have alleviated some fears that I had or some hesitancy I had going into some things on campus?
Definitely. especially being an international student, I really didn't know what like McKinley Health Center entailed. So that in on itself was a little bit of a, what is this? What do we provide? Is it just a clinic? But specifically like the health education department, it's not just fitness. We also have like stress management, special pops, nutrition, so many resources that I just didn't know were a part of McKinley. And I found the app has been super helpful. But as well as just looking online to get a little bit more information on, what was or what is McKinley Health Center.
I have some students too that I see that it is like their last semester of their senior year, and they're like, I wish I would have known about this my freshman year. So now they find out about it and they're like, give me everything that I need to know, lay it all out for me so that way I have the foundation of what I can do whenever I graduate. So just getting the word out there, I think, is really important. And then, just keeping accessibility to resources and everything that we have.
And I will say that, I've said this before on McKinley, we're here to help. We're here to walk alongside. I think some people, myself included, get a little nervous going into like a gym or something because they're afraid they're going to be like, someone's going to just be in their face and you're like, let's go, let's do all this stuff. And which is not necessarily bad, but it can be really, if you're not an extrovert of that nature, it's like, I don't want to deal with that. Mm-hmm. Contact McKinley, ask questions. We're not going to hound you. We're not going to, force anything down your throat as far as, you do this, this, and this. It's, hey, here's suggestions. Here's how we can help. If you want us, we're here. And so it doesn't cost anything to ask. Nope. It doesn't, they're not signing your life away to ask and find out what's here. So I really encourage that. Guys, I really appreciate you being here today. I appreciate you talking about it. I'm excited to see what happens with this class.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
For a lot of us, taking the first steps to create a fitness routine can be daunting. But there are people on campus who want to help you and want to help take those steps beside you and walk with you on this journey. So be sure to check out those resources I talked about in the description. Reach out to the health ed department. Reach out to us at Healthy Illini. We're here to help. We want to walk with you. Let us know how you're doing, what you thought of this episode. If you have any questions or any comments or anything relating to health and wellness, we want to hear about it. We are here to stand with you and support you. Thank you for joining us today. You are on a personal journey no matter where you are in it. You are important and you matter. Your health and wellness are important and matter, and we are here to keep you well to excel. Go have a great week, Illini. Let us know how you're doing, and we'll catch you next time on Healthy Illini.